What's going on, everybody? Kris here, the Real Estate Blitz. I want to do a quick video. I had somebody hit me up. I think it was on YouTube. It's either YouTube or Facebook. And they were talking about their real estate broker. The real estate broker doesn't really support or understand investing. Well, he said support. Doesn't really support them or doesn't want to help them, and has actually told them not to do anything with real estate investors or investing in general. And I want to talk a little bit about it. So first off, not many brokers understand real estate investing. Just because they've worked with investors, and I've heard it over and over. Well, I've worked with a lot of investors. Doesn't mean they understand investing. Most real estate brokers they aren't investors themselves, or their idea of investing, which I've seen over and over and over with a lot of real estate agents, is they ended up buying a house that they thought was a good price so they could rent it, but they didn't actually take cap rates or adjustments or taxes or cash flow or anything else into play. So they're literally spending money, and yeah, they're making something, they're dumping their chunk money somewhere, but it's not a real investment. They aren't actually making returns the right way. They don't have the science behind it. They aren't learning. So this isn't uncommon. And if you're a real estate agent, you're in a brokerage, and you're trying to either become an investor, and let me just stick with that. If you're trying to become an investor, because if you understand what it means to become an investor or be a real estate investor, you can figure out how to work with investors in general as well. Investors, realtor, I don't know. It is what it is. So this is what I would say. A few different things. Most of the time, brokerages are not going to have the paperwork that you need, whatever that paperwork might be, whether it's a contract to purchase a home, a contract to assign a home, all that whole process, right? So usually what you want to do, and I say it over and over and over and over and over, first off, try to get into a local real estate investment group or investment club, because you're going to be around other flippers, other investors, and you're able to ask. So out here in this area, there's this one specific escrow company that every investor uses. It's an amazing escrow company. And this escrow company caters to investors. In fact, this escrow company has like every type of paperwork you could ever imagine. So whether you want to sign, whether you want to, have unique or creative deals, sub twos, whatever it is, they have the paperwork because they only work with investors. They already know going into it how much they're going to charge. They charge to support investors. So it's nice. It's already all set up. It's smooth. But you wouldn't know that if you didn't know. You would probably go ahead and pick up a regular escrow company that you normally use, and then you're going to get charged out the wazoo, as opposed to a flat fee of maybe $500, right? Put your phone right out there. It's been ringing over and over, right out there. Did you get it? Yeah. So anyway, so can you close the door, please? Thank you. So you can basically go and find these areas or these places, and they're going to be able to help you out. And I'm telling you, you start off in those meetings. Another place that you can actually start finding and researching, Facebook. Facebook has a ton of amazing investor groups. I guarantee your area has something where you can start posting out questions, ideas, or options. So that fixes the paperwork question. What kind of contracts? How does it go? Now you need to start talking about laws. Same thing. You're going to learn a lot about your local community laws, or your not your community, but your state laws, when you start getting around these investor clubs and everything else. And I guarantee you're going to run into investors that are in those clubs that are also real estate agents. So they're going to be able to break down for you what you can and can't do. So example, in California, when I go in, somebody calls me and says, I want to sell my house in cash to you. I go and sit down. I say, first off, I need to tell you, I even brought some numbers here. Okay, I'm a real estate agent. I can absolutely sell your home if I were to sell your home, and I give them 3 ranges. If I could sell your home, top dollar, this is what it is. If it was renovated, this is what it would be. This is a big reason why I created the Renovate Sell program, right? However, this is what I will look to purchase a house at. This is why I'm going to take it as is condition. I'm going to close on the day of your choosing. I'm going to take it with no contingencies. I'm going to pay all the closing costs. You don't have to pay anything. So whatever we agree upon, the exact dollar amount, that's what you're going to get in your pocket, less having to pay off a mortgage or whatever to your bank, right? So that's also part 2. You need to know, A, what are your laws in your state? B, what paperwork do you need, which your broker may not be able to provide? And then C, you need to look at your paperwork that you did with your broker. So I remember our first broker specifically wrote, because they knew we were investors, specifically wrote in the contract that we could not do certain things while we were agents under their license. Unfortunately, a lot of brokers don't understand that. I get it. I understand why, and I'll talk about that. They don't want you to get them in trouble, because if you get fined or something comes to you, the brokerage gets fined as well, because you're out there trying to do business, purchase homes, and maybe being they think all real estate investors are shady. So they think you might be out there being shady, right? And if you're shady, you're going to get the broker fined and get the broker in trouble. So they're trying to protect themselves. It just is what it is. That's where, you just need to be very clear and educate the broker what you're doing or what you're going to do and how your process is and what it looks like. And I mean, we try to keep ours as clean as possible, and we are very blunt, open, and honest with everything that we're doing. I would rather do that and lose a deal than take the chance of getting sued by somebody. Keep in mind, there's a reason why homes are distressed. There's a reason why homes are distressed, right? So sometimes you're dealing with people that are not always in the best mental state, and they're looking for money. They're hungry. I actually got sued once because a lady, she was desperate for money, and it turns out this was her hustle. She had sued multiple agents. Now, we ended up winning in court. It took us a year. And we're actually suing her right now because her and her friend, who's a lawyer, have been going after agents and scamming them because they know E&O will just pay. Keep that in mind. Because you're an agent, at least I don't know what state you are, but in California, if somebody goes and actually reports you and they get a lawyer and they're trying to sue you for some money, most of the time E&O insurance is just going to pay out. They don't want to go through a long court battle. They don't want to be in court. They're going to pay. So we forced our E&O to keep pursuing and to actually fight for justice. And luckily, after a lot of prodding, they did, and we won. But that is not normal because it costs them more money to do that than it is sometimes just to pay out. So it's a little more difficult as a real estate agent in some regards, but I would rather be a real estate agent being an investor. You just got to go find a broker that you can educate and talk to that will be on your side so you can continue to move forward as an investor. And if they aren't, then move on, go somewhere else. There are plenty of brokers that want to work with you. And this is what I try to tell agents all the time. You are the commodity. You're the commodity. The broker needs you. The broker needs you in order to make a living. If the broker didn't need you, the broker wouldn't have a brokerage. The broker would just be a real estate agent for themselves. So remember that. Don't let them bully you around. Don't let them not let you do what you need to do for you, your family, and your dreams. That's all I got today. Appreciate you. And I'll talk to you later. Bye.